my spooky crew, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Alex, and thanks for coming to my spooky corner of the internet. Alright, so the spooky stuff office is for the most part ready. I got some more stuff I want to hang up in terms of decoration, but you know, you probably see these familiar signs behind me. I also have the vintage Ouija board that my cousin got me. She brought it over to me when I was in Hawaii. And then I got my, here's a little tour. I got my little Mothman plushie, my little Ouija board Funko Pop, and little skeleton hands because they can be props. I love these. I haven't really used them yet, but I want to use them. They're actually salad tongs, believe it or not. I don't really eat salad, so yeah, they're gonna be props. So I have some really interesting content planned for 2022. Now, something that I've been wanting to do for this year was to be better in research. I mean, for those of you who have watched my videos and have praised my level of research in my videos, thank you so much. I always want to improve. There's always room to improve. And with some of the topics that I want to cover, I want to make sure that I am up to date as much as possible. I've done my research and I am being a good advocate and ally. Coming up this year, you know, I'm going to be talking about some heated topics. If you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I've kind of gotten into it with a few paranormal reality TV stars. So the new spooky stuff office is here. I have a couch in front of me, which is really nice. I may even do some videos from the couch one time. I got my bookshelves and I got my desk, which I really like. I also work my day job from here, so, you know, it's got multi-purposes, and I'm getting settled into Arlington, Virginia quite nicely. But before we get started and talking about, you know, weird signs and synchronicities from the universe, be sure to click on that subscribe button, give this video a like, and click on that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. And if you like ghost hunting tips, spooky stories, and other weird miscellaneous paranormal content, then be sure to go to my website at thespookystuff.com, and you can follow me on social media on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, I'm probably there. All right, let's get started. And for this video, I wanted to talk about something weird that happened to me throughout this process of moving. Call it God, call it the universe, but somebody seemed to be really looking out for me during this move. I'm not quite sure what it means, but you know, I want to talk about it. It's really bizarre. I haven't really come across this much synchronicity before. Like it's been a thing, and I will say it started around October when I was interviewing for my new job. And I'm going to be completely transparent. I didn't think I would get this new job. It's very, you know, high up there. It's a very high status job for a very high status company. And I am still a fairly new person in my career. Granted, I'm pretty good at what I do, but you know, it was one of those things where I'm like, based on experience alone, I'm not sure if I would be the most viable candidate, but let's just go through the process and see what happens. I mean, I'm glad I did because I ended up getting the job, but yeah, starting in October, I started getting a lot of synchronicities falling into place. Like with one of my team members, he, you know, when he fills up gas at the pump, you know, he likes to get the exact number, like $12, not like $11.99 or anything like that. And I noticed in October, like late October, around like Halloween time, whenever I was going to be hanging out with him, when I pumped gas, I would get that exact number. And I just do like the auto pump thing. I don't like sit there and like hold the gas pump manually. I just set down the little clip and just let it go. So I was just finding a lot of synchronicities with it, and a lot of it I just kind of chalked it up to like, you know, this company's very high profile. I'm going to be seeing them around anyway because, you know, they're part of my daily life, just my normal life. And I just started seeing like a lot of really interesting things. And I mean, part of it I was, you know, giving it to the algorithm of like the internet and, you know, social media and whatnot. But yeah. But it was just becoming really apparent that something was up. And then after I accepted the job offer, put in my notice and everything, I was looking, here's a story that was really shocking to me. I was looking for boxes, and as you all know, moving boxes are really expensive. I mean, they're like $1 each, but if you have like 500 boxes that you need, then it gets pretty expensive. I didn't need 500 boxes, but you know. I was scouring the internet looking for anyone that was giving away free boxes, and I just happened to find a gentleman about 20 minutes away from me when I was in Raleigh who was giving away his moving boxes. So I'm like, great. So I go to his place. He's an elderly gentleman. He comes out and he, lifts the garage door, and, I see all the boxes there. And, we were doing some small talk while loading them into my car. And he was asking me, where are you moving to? And I said, oh, I'm moving to Arlington, Virginia. And he's like, oh, that's so interesting because I just moved here from Alexandria, Virginia. Alexandria is literally just down the road from me. Like I live right on the border between like DC, Arlington, and Alexandria. So Alexandria, I can throw a rock at it. That's how close it is to me. So I thought, okay, that's really, really interesting, and how odd that you moved to North Carolina in my town from Alexandria, and I'm basically moving back to where you came from. So that was weird. That was really odd. And what's funny is that another kind of weird connection thing, my apartment number is actually connected with my apartment from Raleigh. Like the numbers are like pretty much very similar. Basically my apartment number in my new place is half my Raleigh apartment number, which is weird, very weird. And then this is the other story that really blew my mind. So, I'm looking for furniture in my new place. I didn't take a lot of furniture with me because honestly, it's a pain in the butt to move. And, I didn't want to get a really big truck because I was driving the moving truck. And there was a woman in my apartment community group that was basically selling 2 bookshelves and a couch, and I needed bookshelves and I needed a couch, so it was perfect. And she's just in the building over from me, so I go over to her apartment and she's, showing me the couch and the bookcase, and I took the 2 bookcases because it was easy. And then she was asking me like, I forgot how the conversation went, but she was talking about leaving the apartment, and somehow it came up that she is moving back to San Diego. And if you've been following me long enough, or you know who I am, then you know that I am from San Diego. I lived in San Diego most of my life. I mean, in preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, grad school. I mean, I lived in San Diego until I was about 27 years old. So I spent a significant amount of my life there. And ironically, the woman that was selling me all this furniture, her name was Alex as well. So, you have an Alex that just moved to Arlington, Virginia, and then you have an Alex that's moving back to San Diego. That was the other thing that was really bizarre. Like, what are the odds that I got my moving boxes from somebody who was moving to North Carolina from Virginia, and then I get my furniture from someone who is from San Diego, moving back to San Diego, and shares my name. I don't know what it means. Like, I don't know if this is like the universe or God telling me that, hey, you're on the right path. This is where you're supposed to be. It was just been really bizarre and really wild. So I don't know if this is the universe telling me, hey, this is something you needed to do. And I'll be honest, my new job really gave me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I don't know if I would have left North Carolina otherwise. And I was really looking for some sort of validation that I was doing the right thing, because the last time I relocated for a job, it did not turn out well at all. So I really had some hesitancy, and I was very restrained in my enthusiasm about the new job and about the move. So perhaps that anxiety triggered some sort of synchronistic turn of events to basically give me that pat on the back and that reassurance. You're doing the right thing. You're going down the right path, and everything has worked out so far. I mean, even my DMV experience in Virginia has been very positive. I don't know how that ended up that way, but I had a very pleasant DMV experience. It was very easy. Getting my car registered was a whole other different story though. But it's just been a really interesting flow of events. So I guess I can confidently say at this point that I am where I'm meant to be. Nothing feels forced. It's very easy. Don't get me wrong, there's been an extraordinary amount of hard work to make things happen. But, there's a difference between having to work hard to get something done and having to overcome constant blockers or barriers that seem to be coming up. The move to North Carolina felt very forced. And even after I was living in North Carolina, I lived in North Carolina for, almost 8 or 9 years. I always felt like I never really belonged there. And even one of my friends, when I was talking to her about the potential of this move, she even said, Alex, you've always had one foot out the door when it comes to North Carolina. And she was right. I was always kind of looking for a way out, so to speak. I never really felt like I belonged here. It's always been like, I don't know, it always came across me very evident that I was always out of place. Like even when it came to my social circles, my friends, I always felt like I was the outsider. Like even within my own team for a while, I felt like I was the outsider, which was ironic because I was running the team. I was the director of the team, but I always felt very excluded. And eventually I got that validated, which really sucked. But yeah, it just seemed like, yeah, I was always just kind of an outsider. I didn't quite belong here. And I was the puzzle piece that sort of fit, but it wasn't the right piece to go into that spot, if that makes sense. Like it's one of those puzzle pieces you really had to force in there. And then once it's in there, it's hard to get it out. Because I'll be honest, like I didn't really want to move in the beginning because I was comfortable. I didn't want to deal with the burden of moving. And eventually the way things turned out, I had to. And very few things in my life have felt like really easy, so to speak. Like the paranormal has always felt very easy for me. It was something that I've always been attracted to. And once I got into the paranormal, things just kind of fell into place. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've always had to work my butt off to get to where I am today and to know what I know today. A lot of study, a lot of research, a lot of dealing with people, a lot of dealing with drama and BS. But the entire time, it never felt like it was forced. Like, you know, the TV gigs, the writing books and everything. I didn't hit a lot of barriers when it came to it. It just kind of fell into place. And this move really just fell into place. Like I had a lot of conditions in order to relocate because I know Arlington is one of the most expensive places in the world to live. I had demands, so to speak, you know. I wanted to be able to just work one job once I moved here, and I want to be able to live someplace, you know, fairly comfortably and, you know, be compensated, you know, my worth. And it just happened, like, and I didn't have to fight for it. So on that note, being able to just work one job, which has been a really wild transition in of itself. I was working in North Carolina. I was working like 4 jobs to make ends meet. I barely had time for me. My self-care was non-existent. And really the reason why I was making content with the spooky stuff and writing and everything, it was my escape. And now it's like I just work one job and I have more time and resources to dedicate to the spooky stuff, my team. It's just really crazy how it just all came together, and I'm able to, you know, do what I love, not just for my career, but also in my free time. Plus, I live only 90 minutes away from Gettysburg now, and I love Gettysburg, and it's like, that's a dream come true. So what do you think of like synchronicities and signs from like the universe, signs from some sort of higher power that lets you know whether or not you're on the right or wrong path? I would love to hear what you think. And I know this video isn't like your typical content for me. Don't worry, I'm gonna be back to, you know, hard-hitting content, spooky stories, and weird conversations in the future. All right, so before you go, don't forget to click that subscribe button, give this video a like, and feel free to share this video with your friends and family who also enjoy the spooky stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next round.